As we continue to show you some of the nice parks and recreation areas in Charlotte, we've decided to double up a little bit today and show you two of them in the South Charlotte area. So stick around. Hi, I'm Dave DeSilva with Long Tab Realty, brokered by eXp Realty here in Charlotte. I've been a realtor full-time for 20 years, actually 20 years in August, and have lived in Charlotte for 22 years. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit quiet because we're covering a park today that is fairly busy. There's a number of parties going on. There's some people fishing. There's people walking their dogs, and it looks like some people just hanging out, riding their bikes. And I haven't even seen the mountain trails or the trail riding trails yet. So we're going to cover today Park Road Park. And the second area we're going to talk about today is the Marion Diehl Park and Recreation Center, which consists of a tennis center, a senior center. There is the there's the recreation and pool center. And something that's kind of cool is Queen's University of Charlotte is also pretty much attached to the Marion Diehl Center. As you can see, some of the facilities behind me, there's a soccer field here. There it looks like field hockey, definitely lacrosse where the ambush plays. There's a natatorium, better known as a swimming pool indoors, and we'll show you that later on. Just a big facility attached to the Marion Diehl Center that belongs to Queen's University. Well, these two parks are separated by maybe 3/4 of a mile in driving distance, and even less so as the crow flies. And what's nice is that you can take advantage of these facilities at probably low to no cost, and you'll only need to make reservations if you're looking at holding one of the shelters for an event or something along those lines. And they do have passes that you can purchase so you can get into some of the workout facilities, not just at Marion Diehl, for example, but at some of the other local parks and rec locations that have pools and workout facilities and all that neat stuff. For me personally, what's nice about these two parks is that they're just a few minutes from where I live in South Charlotte, and they also afford very easy access to anybody that's really living along 51 on the southwest side of Charlotte, over in the Steel Creek area, South Park area, which is really right across the street from Park Road Park and less than a mile from Marion Diehl. Another thing that's really nice about these two parks is they are actually linked by the Little Sugar Creek Greenway, part of the Greenway system in Charlotte. It starts, actually this is right off Tyvola Road, one of the entryways. Right behind me, I think you can see it, that's the entryway to Queens College, which connects to the Marion Diehl facilities. And if you go that way behind me, that's going to get you on the Little Sugar Creek Greenway, which takes you all the way down to Waxhaw and the Polk Museum, which I covered when I talked about Pineville a couple weeks ago. And it's probably from here maybe 7 miles, 8 miles, something like that. So it's a good, nice run out and back. And it also goes right by, which was the main point of this conversation, right by Park Road Park. So now let's jump in and talk specifically about Park Road Park and all the details. Park Road Park is located at 6220 Park Road. It is on the west side of Park Road and the south side of the intersection with Tyvola, just like I said before, east of South Park. The park is 122 acres of ball fields, many of them lighted, sand volleyball courts, walking trails, picnic and event shelters are all over the place. Some rec and play areas that are pretty intensive, pretty huge and good looking play areas for a bunch of kids. And then of course there's the tennis courts, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes. And there's miles of mountain biking trail. And as you can see by this quick tour through the grounds, the park has a lot of open space, and it also has a lot of shaded walking or casual biking areas. And of course the centerpiece is this 11-acre pond or lake, whatever you call it, that does allow fishing. Once you cross over the creek, which is on the west side of the border of Park Road Park, and you get on the Greenway, you'll find a very challenging mountain bike trail, which I had mentioned, and it's contains several miles of some expert trails and a few miles of non-expert trails. So behind me here is a separate section of Park Road Park, which is the Park Road Park tennis facility. It's right across the street from one of the entrances to Park Road Park on the west side of Park Road. Have I said Park Road enough? And as you can see, as I'm walking around, some of the tennis courts that are all lit, they're lit or lighted, there's 12 of them, and they have a reputation as some of the best public courses or best public courts in Charlotte. So now let's go ahead and head back on over to the Marion Diehl Park and Rec Center, and we'll cover all the details of that location. Back at the Marion Diehl Park and Recreation Center, we want to give you a little bit of a walking tour that's coming up in about 2 seconds. But prior to that, I wanted to show you something which is a pretty big sculpture of a lion. I think it is the world's largest lion sculpture. And it's here as part of the Queens campus, or I'm sorry, this Queens Athletic Complex and the Marion Diehl Park. As we walk through the park, you can see that this is just a little bit different than Park Road Park. There are fewer trails and bike paths, and while there are no volleyball or baseball areas, there are several artificial fields for soccer. And when I say artificial fields, I mean artificial turf for soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, and fitness training. One of the centerpieces of the Marion Diehl Park and Recreation Center is the Levine tennis courts. As you can see here, they are just top-notch, as is the case with the tennis courts, as I mentioned earlier, over at Park Road Park. So many different things to do, and for all age ranges. Right now I'm standing next to the little picnic area you can see behind me, which you can reserve, and actually it was reserved today for a birthday party from 8 to 8, so you can reserve that. If you've got older folks you want to bring with you and you want to drop them off at the senior center, or, and that's maybe not politically correct, but if you want something to do for them, there's options. Behind me you're going to see little playground stuff to bring your kids and have them play in. There's trails right across the street from here is the Little Sugar Creek, one of the entryways along Tyvola. There's walking paths. Again, there's sports that go on here, anything from the college soccer to rec and club stuff. So a lot of options here at Marion Diehl. Well, I just took my first tour of the Marion Diehl Recreation Center and Pool, and I got to tell you, I'm blown away. It's like a YMCA in there. There's a new pool that's actually under construction right now. There's basketball courts, there's activities that go on throughout the week. You do pay a membership for a family. I think it's 2 adults and up to 5 kids. Could be $65 a month. I think if you're a senior, which might be over 55, it's $22, I believe, and for an individual, it's $45 a month. But you can walk in the door, show your pass. There's a new workout facility, which you can see pictures of here. There's basketball courts, all this inside. I touched on the shelters earlier on, and I wasn't sure whether they were at cost, and I've been told that there's no cost to those. So it is just a tremendous facility here at Marion Diehl, and there's about, I think, 13 of these that are similar, maybe not quite as nice as this one. If it is, it's great, but similar throughout Charlotte, that your $65 a month can get you into. So appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe, make some comments, and let me know what your favorite parks are, or let me know some issues you've had with them. I've had a couple people send me some notes about that sort of thing. But please let me know how I can do better videos and what you're looking for in these videos.